I like Black Widow. I like Scarlett Johansson. I like Marvel. I love superheroes. But that doesn't mean that this movie's bite was any better than its bark, if you know what I mean. And if you don't, that's alright. Stick with me. I saw the movie, in a theater even. And I'll let you know if this superheroine is a Wonder Woman or a Widowmaker. Up next. Welcome back to PopCon, everybody. A salute to all pop culture, but mostly the 80s. I'm your G1 or Generation 1 host, Victor, and maybe this topic doesn't fit in my sensational 6 of franchises back here, but that's alright. It's superheroes. I'm all about them. I love superheroes, and they are all about pop culture. I love the history, the character development, the story arcs over the decades they've been around, so of course superheroes are in my wheelhouse. And I went to the theater. To see Black Widow, I went to a movie theater because to me, that's the only way to see a blockbuster. And I know a lot of people would probably argue it's fine on my big screen TV, but I would have to disagree. I've got a huge TV too, but I don't need the interruptions from my dog wanting to go outside or play ball. I don't want the temptation to go on my phone. I want the darkened theater to enjoy this with other people without any of the interruptions and pressing pause. I want to get sucked in, and that's how I saw Black Widow. And this is what I felt about it. Brazen, inexplicable, shameless. Hey everybody, if you're liking this comment, press that subscribe right now and ring the bell icon too for alerts. We're making really wonderful content and I want to keep doing that for you. After the video, share, like, comment, anything to show your support. Subscribe to my channel because PopCon gives a lot of great content and in better production value than most of those other channels. Now back to the show. Startling, impertinent, presumptuous, audacious, overconfident, and insolent. And those are all the things that made it great. I loved this film. It was wonderful. It was a perfect addition to the MCU and fit right in. It really worked with the rest of the big guns without batting a pretty little eyelash. You know, I was a little skeptical too because of how long it took this movie to be released and how long it's been since the last big Marvel outing. It's also difficult to take a superhero and give them a solo outing based on a backstory that's only lightly been alluded to. So the Red Room, the making of female assassins, the fake family, and even her past interactions with Hawkeye made Black Widow a really interesting non-prequel origin story. And let's stop right there. It isn't a prequel. We all know that. But it is definitely an origin story. This takes place between Civil War and Infinity War in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And it blends perfectly. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of references made to ground you that this is still part of the MCU, and I really appreciated all that. It made me feel like I was still part of this overarching storyline that I've come to love in the last 10 years. You know, there's a lot of name dropping in this movie without any cameos, surprise cameos, except maybe that little picture of Hawkeye at the end. The name dropping is actually really helpful and done in a perfect way that blends well with the characters and their dialogue. It also reminds me that I'm with old friends and that this solo film is not in a silo, but part of a bigger picture. Now, let's get to something I'm sure all of you want to know, and I'm going to get it off my chest, and maybe it'll get you off the fence for going to see the film. Black Widow is not a male-bashing movie like so many people online want you to know. You know, there are fans out there, even super fans, who feel like they are not being fans unless they're raking the things they love across the coals. Must be terrible to be them and miserable all the time. Red Guardian, played wonderfully by David Harbour, holds his own so well and plays the character written in a way that doesn't weaken his presence or cheapen the importance. Even if he's gained a little weight, the character is still very vital, and even when he's getting ribbed for good reason, it isn't at all male bashing. I will admit that I was a little nervous about this whole concept as well. Not because this movie was about a female character or led by females, but because it is so easy for Hollywood to go to male bashing. But that wasn't the case. And I was first in line to see Wonder Woman. I think she is a badass. And even the character Steve Trevor doesn't come across as a sidekick. When done right, the equity is there, and I felt that. And I loved Wonder Woman. By the way, I'm talking about Wonder Woman. The original movie, not Wonder Woman 84. That does not even exist. That dumpster fire could be totally retconned if they go into a third entry, which God willing. Scarlett Johansson. She plays Black Widow perfection. She has never changed how she plays it. It is that character and you believe it. She hasn't taken a pause from it. But I'm also impressed by Rachel Weisz, whichever she goes by. But I remember her from the original Mummy movies, and she does a wonderful job as the leader of the female assassins in the Red Room. Now, funny thing about that character, in the comics, she was called the Iron Maiden, which I really love that name, but I don't think they referenced it in the film. If they did and I missed that Easter egg, let me know in the comments. But overall, these actors, all of them, did a phenomenal job and really kept the movie going. Black Widow is not without its issues. Wrapping up with the main antagonist is very clunky. It is a superhero movie, and I can't compare it to Blade Runner, although that is my measuring stick for almost every film. Over 85% of this movie I can easily suspend disbelief, but on occasion there is this exceedingly overblown moment that is expected that starts to make the disbelief unravel, especially at the climax of the film. But the good just outweighs the bad of this fun-filled romp. Even with some of the more slow-moving moments in the pig farm in the middle of the film, and the very, very little, as expected, blockbustery, cringy CGI at the very climax of the moment, none of that really took me out or distracted me from liking the film. I loved it. This was very Marvel. It was very MCU. I felt Avengers. And that moment at the end, Valentina showing up with a picture of Hawkeye as the next target to Black Widow's sister Yelena, that setting up the new Hawkeye TV show on Disney Plus was just so exciting for me and made me want more. So, should you see it? Damn straight. Don't let any preconceived notions or pseudo-sexist online tell you otherwise. This story fits the MCU narrative, embraces a popular character that may not get their dues normally, and shines a light on a rollicking original story that has both heart and is heart-pounding. Now, I hope you come back to PopCon for some honest reviews, some detailed trailer breakdowns, and origin stories and reveals about TVs, music, movies, and collectibles, and anything in the pop culture zeitgeist. That's what PopCon's all about, and it's my channel and my opinion completely, and a poignant one. So I can say whatever I want. Click the subscribe, ring the bell, get alerted on our content, and hurry up, like and share. There's another show coming right behind me. Until next time.
Get away from her, you